What's going on, gardeners? On today's 2-minute garden tip, I'm going to show you the best way that I found to manage the dreaded squash bug. If you've ever grown zucchini, pumpkins, summer squash, and other squashes in your garden, you know just how miserable the squash bug can be. They crawl all over your squash-type plants, and then they suck the juices out of them, and they really damage the plants and lead to a premature death. Now, over the years, I have struggled with them, but I found the easiest way to manage them, and I want to share with you exactly how I choose to do that, and I'm not going to use any chemicals, pesticides, or sprays in this video. Adult squash bugs are expert hiders, and they are camouflaged to blend in perfectly with soil and wood chips. So what I like to do is I like to water around the base of my plant with a hose or a watering can, which tends to make them scatter, and then I will suck them up with a hand vacuum to reduce the adult population. So let's simply pick up the bottom of this plant, water all around, and see if that makes any adult squash bugs scatter. Now, it was pretty hard to see, but that watering actually did dislodge an adult right here. There we go. We sucked that guy up right there, and then we're just going to leave him inside the hand vac, and he'll die in a couple of days on his own. After we suck up all the adult squash bugs that we can find with a hand vacuum, we're then going to look at the tops and the undersides, specifically the undersides of all of the squash leaves for squash bug eggs. And these eggs that you see right here are squash bug eggs. We need to check all over the plants because most of the squash bugs in your garden are going to come from eggs laid on the very squash plants themselves. So if you can remove them, you'll go a long way to reducing the population in your garden. So the way we're going to remove the squash bug eggs is we're going to take a balled up piece of tape. It can be duct tape, electrical tape, painter's tape, it doesn't matter. This is duct tape. I'm going to press it onto the eggs, and then I'm going to simply pull the eggs off with the tape until they are not there any longer. And you can see that I caused a little bit of damage to the plant itself, but all the squash eggs are there. So then we're simply going to take the eggs and we are going to either throw them away into a garbage can and remove them off site, or burn them to reduce the population permanently. So while there is no way to 100% eliminate all squash bugs from your garden if you're growing outdoors, you can go miles to reduce the population simply by checking your plants 2 or 3 times a week, sucking up the adults with a hand vacuum, and removing all of the eggs. By doing that, you can dramatically reduce the squash bug populations in your yard and garden. And that's today's 2-minute garden tip. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell to receive new video notifications, and check out our Amazon storefront and spread shop in the video description for a list of the gardening products I use and awesome custom designed apparel and other gear. Your support is greatly appreciated.